research that we did, from the standpoint of analytics and talking to people, that we knew had a relationship with him, or somebody who knew him really well. I mean, doing background stuff on a guy, that's been a world champion and a great player, but he hasn't played in 7 months. You just got to try to do as much homework as you can on that part of it, and then you hope for the best. And what we got back, from all the people that we had talked to, or even from our analytic, department here, is that everything from last year, he's elite. He's an elite defender, an elite team defender. He's an elite assist-to-turnover percentage. He ranks up into the top of those areas that are real tangible. And so you don't lose that in 7 months. And probably it was a blessing in disguise that he didn't play for 7 months. When I talked to him, he said, I got to gain some weight. So I think he weighed in at 218 and 6%. So he's in shape. He definitely is going to have to, get his basketball, legs under him. But we're confident that he's healthy and he's excited and that he can really help us, and that's why we went after him. So, but you make a good point, Tim, about what convinced us to go for this was the background research that we do and what other people say, and then also watching film from last year. As long as he's healthy and he can play, we got a player. And he just turned 36. Well, there's a guy out in L.A. just turned 35. And I'm not comparing him to him, but age-wise, in today's game in the NBA, players like Andre, who take care of their body, are religious to conditioning, it just comes to a point where they would say, I don't want to play anymore, I want to retire. He does not want to, and I think he's going to really help us.
Pat, this is Ira. Obviously, there could have been more to this, but there's also a future plan in place also.
Right.
How much did 2021 impact all your machinations over the last couple of days? And because it's been out there and widely reported, is there a disappointment that you weren't able to move ahead with Part B of this as well?
Well, you know me. I'm all about now, and we're going to press on. We're not going to stop. We are committed to winning and getting back into contending for a world championship. And I just say to you, we will. We will, get players and get what we need in the next year or two. That's not going to, waste, Jimmy Butler's years, his best years, and try to do the best we can. So, am I disappointed? Yes, I wanted everything, but I wasn't going to, nor was Mickey, nor was Andy or Nick, or were we going to compromise like a 2-year plan. That's what we're looking at. It would be this year, and then it would be next year, and then we would, whatever machinations that we would have to prepare for, if or, things would happen, after next season, then we would do that. So you got to take some risks here, and I think at that time when you do it, you never know that we're going to really work out, but we want to win. So. Yeah, I like, Gallo, and I think he would have fit in here, really well, but it didn't work out, that's all. And somewhere you have to sort of draw a line in the sand for your team.
And then where with the players you let go, I mean, you were very effusive both at the end of last season, at the start of this season, that the John Waiter situations could work themselves out and still end with a positive result. Obviously, things changed since then. How much of a disappointment is there in that? And can you please address parting with Justice Winslow as well?
Well, I think the record sort of speaks for itself. The coverage, the things that may have happened that turned this whole thing in another direction. They had some great moments and some great years for us. The 2 injuries, with the ankle with Dion and also the abductor surgery with JJ, actually had to have it done twice. but that wasn't what sort of made us move in another direction. The fact that we could replace both of them, and they had a good run with us. They were injured and they had issues and all that stuff. But getting back Jay Crowder and getting back Solomon Hill, I think those guys at least this year can help us. So I wish them the best. I wish JJ and Dion the very best, and I had a lot of conversations with these guys. In my office, on the court, good people. They are. They're good people. But in this game, when you're in the trading game around the trading deadline, and you're looking to zero in on one thing, not one player, but a whole concept, and it was a whole concept that I wish them nothing but the best. And I believe this might free them to get to an area where they can play. And as far as justice goes, it was the most difficult part. It really was. It just was a very, very difficult thing for us to come to grips with, because he's a young player. I know he's missed, like 150 games over his 4.5 years with us or something like that, but, we're going to miss him. And the Memphis Grizzlies got a great young player to go into their organization of young guys. As a matter of fact, Justice might be now, after 4.5 years, a player that's perfect for them, because he's got 4.5 years on top of these guys, and it'd be a good leader for him. But he's a great player. He just has some injury problems, and we wish him nothing but the best. And I'm glad he's in the Western Conference too, so I don't have to play against him.
You guys mute your phones, please.
The kids, you got to tell the kids to be quiet.
Pat, it's I'm sorry.
Who's this?
It's Ethan. I was trying to get one in, but
you got it. Okay.
No, just one quick thing for Pat. I mean, sure. As well as the team's played offensively this year, the defense hasn't been up to typical Heat standards you've won anyway. Was that the major thing that you were from a you said I'm about now, while also looking at obviously 2020, 2021 and everything else. But was that the major thing that you wanted to address when you talked in the statement about balancing out the roster, was making sure this team is better defensively than it's been through the first 50 games?
Well, that was part of it. Yeah, we know that Andre is an elite defender on the ball, 1 through 4, and he's a smart defender. And not just can he guard somebody? I mean, he can guard somebody intelligently. He's been part of one of the best defenses with Golden State in a long time, because not just winning championships because of Steph and because of Clay or with Kevin there, and having Andre there, along with Draymond, they were an elite team. And so if you got elite defenders who can play, the toughest offensive players, and you can keep 2 shooters out on the court and then have a guy like Bam there, I think we have improved our defense individually, with these moves, and especially with Jay Crowder. That wasn't the primary, reason for it. It was getting a great player, an unselfish player. He's not going to fill up the box score. He's a winner, and he's a pro. I think he'll be great with Udonis and Jimmy in the locker room with guys, and help educate and teach guys to get to the next level. He's that kind of guy, and so we were very zeroed in on him, and I think from a defensive standpoint, I think at times our offense probably, and Spo and I talk about this all the time. Like the other night against the Clippers. I mean, if you got a defense for 24 made threes, then you better pull it out. They were also 21 for 35 from 2. So whether or not that's bad defense or it's schemes or we got guys that are hurt right now, we've been inconsistent with it. We've talked a lot about it, and we think we might have been able to plug a few holes here.
Pat, quick follow-on. Have your expectations for this team changed since the start of the season?
No, mine didn't. Now I feel a little bit more confident, that we can do something. It's going to be a dogfight over here. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, you're between It looks as though Milwaukee is like running away with the record, so it's a top seed here. But 2 through 6 is this is going to be a dogfight, and I'm very uncomfortable right now that we made some good moves, but now we have guys that are hurt. Jimmy's out, Myers is out, Tyler's out, and so we got to go through some adversity, and we have to deal with it while we're making these changes in trying to incorporate the new players into the offense, into the defense, and just getting them feel comfortable. So, I'm just wishing every day, hoping every day that these guys get healthy. From that standpoint.
It's Barry Jackson. I wanted to ask you about Derek. Have you seen enough where you guys have already come to the conclusion that you want him as part of the long-term future, or do you just want to evaluate how he plays over these next 3 months before making that decision?
I don't think we have to evaluate him anymore. I think we know exactly, who Derek is as a player, and he's still very young. He's obviously one of the most explosive, exciting players, in the game when he goes above the rim. I've liked the fact that he's improved his three-point shooting. I like the fact that he's become a better and more consistent defender. So we like him, and when that time comes, this summer, we have a decision to make. But we just want him to focus and concentrate on playing hard, not worry about what's going to happen then, and let's try to win the championship.
And one quick follow. It's a good roster, obviously. You're not going to have everything, and I guess rim protection, especially when Bam is not in the game, would be one area where maybe it could improve. Was that something you looked for as far as any natural fives who are rim protectors, or was that never really a search over these last couple of weeks?
No, that's a concern of ours. When you look at all the numbers, then it's a concern. But there aren't many out there who are 30-minute guys or 20-minute guys or guys that can come in and do that. And if you can't find the right one, then you go with what you have. And, we like the absolute chemistry of Myers at 7 feet, can shoot the threes, got a big body inside. Not a real shot blocker, but he can defend inside. And having Bam and Kelly, Bam is he can get up there and protect the rim somewhat. So yeah, we don't have that, but there aren't a lot of teams that do have it. And but it is a big thing when it comes to, I think, anchoring your defense to have something like that. So we'll keep our eyes out. I think that's one of the reasons why we're happy that part of this transaction gave us the possibility of going after a buyout, maybe player later on.